Well, okay, so I'm here to talk to you about setting up a busking rig from a manual chair. And the reason I'm using a manual chair is not by choice. My power chair is broken down and it's getting repaired, and I'm having to keep working, and the only way to do that is with my existing chair. I started out in a manual chair and I used just a acoustic guitar, and that was fine, and you can do that, and it's great. But as I did it more of as a job, it became a lot more difficult. Even the smallest of hills with gear become insurmountable at times, especially after a day of doing it. It's a real slog. So I've had to change my routine a lot and do some mods. And so this is also useful not only for busking, but for any number of activities, because really what I'm doing is just trying to be independent and move gear around. And it could be any type of hobby or activity you could adapt to what I'm doing. And for people who are the uprights in the world, I just want to let you know I'm not trying to be inspiring. I'm simply just trying to do what I do on my own with as little help as possible. And having full hand function, I can, live that reality largely. So, so let's just get into the rig. I wanted to first talk about the mods that I've done to this chair to make it as a potential long-term setup. And that is, I made solid wheels. I got rid of inflatable tires, and this is what I would do normally on a manual chair now. So I can't have flats. They're great. They're not uncomfortable. Later on, I will get the backrest welded so it can't break or pop. And because I'm planning on using this chair, this rig for traveling too, if I busk, if my wife and I go to Europe, or if we decide to do a long trip, I just want to be as error-free as possible. Another mod that was done is, you'll see after later, is there's a thing called, it used to be called a lap shopper, and now it's mobility mount, mobilitymount.com, made by a bright guy, Jerry Price, in Parksville. And it basically is just a thing it's a solid aluminum tongue that slips underneath your seat pan, and you can mount any number of devices to it. I just have a plywood board which replaces a music stand and a mic stand. My mic stand has been shrunk down to a tabletop mic, so I don't have to have a full one. You'll see that instead of having a full pedal board, which I'd use in the manager, I just using simply a zoom pedal, which is an all-in-one thing. It's a great thing. I recommend these products for anybody that want to condense gear and simplify.
Can I see that?
Yeah. So there you go. That's a zoom pedal. It's got. I'll do independent videos on a lot of this stuff later, but I just wanted to give you just sort of a summary of what I'm using. Also, in the future, I'm gonna possibly get a foot plate as well. Although I think I've done enough mods to my feet, my foot area to make it realistic. Also, there's an aluminum pedal holder here underneath the zoom pedal. It's basically just a bent piece of aluminum with Velcro on it. And if you were to not do that, you'll find the pedal will slip, will fall off, will get knocked off. This just keeps it in place. You can grip around it to make the switch. It's a lot more convenient. So yeah, I've reduced a lot of the gear. This tick bag, this is expensive. These are like over $100. I got it with a mono bag, which are expensive guitar bags. You don't need to spend that kind of money. You can just get any size bag that'll fit under the tray. Mesh net I have underneath the chair. This fits perfectly into it, but any bag will do, and that carries quite a bit of the gear. The second bag that I use is down here. It's a denier bag from MEC. It's just a simple bag, goes on my back, carries a lot of the rest of the gear, and you'll see the amp will go here. The guitar will go strapped to my front. So there's safety measures in this whole setup too. The lap shopper itself removes pressure off my legs. I was pressure mapped, and you don't have to worry actually about loading gear on your legs. It doesn't transfer into your ischials or your coccyx, your vulnerable parts in your backside. That's only if the weight was on your shoulders, because it would transfer down directly to those spots. But I still just don't want, it's for multiple uses that I have this table. But it is a somewhat of a pressure relief. I mean, some of these amps or equipment could have pieces that could, sit on your thigh and cause problems. So all the valuable gear too. None of the valuable gear is on my back bag. So I take measures to keep it strapped onto me anyways, because I've had people steal things. I lost a tablet. I had a bag gone through on an elevator in the transit system. But I keep all the valuable gear underneath me or strapped to the front, so they're going to have to go through me to get it. And most people don't want to bother to try to do that, right? So I also have steel toe boots. So the chair, when the guitar gets fastened to my front, my feet are protected. I want to talk about playing from a manual chair. Depending on your guitar input, if you have an input in the bottom, like my Gibson does and other guitars do, you want to have an angle jack like this coming out to protect it, because it'll hit the tire, it'll hit your body. Yeah, this is an angle jack. So this one, you don't need it because it's a front loading, so I can use a straight one without causing problems. But if the guitar was here, you wouldn't want this thing sticking out the bottom, right? You'll hit things. So that's one thing to definitely consider right off the bat. Most people, I'm sure, figure that out pretty early on, but just to let you know. Now I'm going to take apart the gear and just show you how that all looks as we go. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do a blog post on this as well, and it'll be at diggerdanmusic.com, and I'll have greater detail. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask in the comment section. I'll be more than willing to provide as much detail as I can, and I'll also provide some links to the products and some of the ideas. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at digger_dan_music. Facebook at Digger Dan Music, all one word. SoundCloud at Digger Dan Music, and probably a few other places soon online. So just stay tuned. Thanks.